So today we are looking at the Zorin OS 17.2 education distribution or education edition. So here is the boot menu of the Zorin OS 17.2. So let's quickly boot it in the live boot. So Zorin OS is a Ubuntu based Linux distribution. So if you want the Zorin OS 17.2 core edition and also the light edition, so both the editions already posted in my channel. So if you want to check that out, you can check it out. And also the country of origin of the Zorin OS is from the Ireland, and the desktop environment you get is GNOME for the Zorin OS core edition, and light edition for the XFCE. You get the XFCE for the light edition. So I'm going to click on Ctrl C now to cancel the checking. So right now I'm running it on the virtual machine, which is VMware, with 60 GB of virtual disk, 8 GB of RAM, and my CPU is i5 1240p. So booting process will take different times in different edition. So in the GNOME edition it will be different, and also in the light edition it will be different. So if you want to check all the editions, so there was like a 17.2 core edition already posted, and also the light edition which comes with the XFCE desktop is also posted in the channel. So if you want to check that out, you can check it out, and all the changes has been discussed in the core edition and also light edition. So I am not going to go through all those changes and all those things. I'm just going to show you some important changes or the things which is different from the other editions. So this is the education edition, and also the ISO file size is kind of different. So it's like a 7 GB of ISO file size. So I'm going to show you the downloading process and also everything, like a terminal, features, desktop, everything. So I'm not going to miss anything here. And also I'll be posting 2 videos daily without missing. So if you want to subscribe, you can subscribe. And also if you have any topic regarding the Linux distros, do let me know in the comment section. Before you try to comment in the comment section, it's better to try to search that content in my channel, because I posted like a 3000 videos of every Linux distro. So if I already made a video, you don't need to put it in the comment section. You can just watch the video. If I didn't make a video on it, you can just comment it, so we can make a video. Right now there is no topic, so that's the reason I'm asking, or else I'll be making my own videos. So the booting process will be taking like a minute or 2 minutes or 3 minutes. It completely depends on the edition and also in the distros. So sometimes it's going to take like a 2.5 or 3 minutes. Sometimes it will be very quick. In this case it's almost like a 1.5 minute, 2 minutes right now. I've been keep talking continuously without any gap. So we are still seeing just the desktop without anything loaded. Just we have like a date and time other than the wallpaper. So there is a bit of time consuming in loading the desktop layout. So I'm going to choose the automatic change, and that's the sound of the notification sound of the Zorin OS. So you get this notification sound as soon as you boot up or the desktop is loading up. So you should be seeing the two options, which is a live boot and the installation. So it's always a good choice to go with the live boot first. If you're satisfied, then go with the installation. So I'm choosing the try Zorin OS. Choose the languages first. There are plenty of languages available. And also I hope the user experience will be better sometimes in the virtual machines. But you need to understand this. Is the user experience will be completely different of the same distribution. If you virtual machines first, there will be some minor hiccups. If you're using the VMware, then there will be some minor hiccups. But if you use the VirtualBox, you don't see that much of issues. But try to test it in both the virtual machines if you have. And the user experience in the bare metal, you already know it's going to be performing way better if you have the recommended requirements of the Zorin OS or whatever the distribution. So let me first change the display settings. Let's go with the display settings. So I already made a lot of videos on the Zorin OS. So if you want to see all those videos, there are a lot of videos available in my channel. So my monitor is like a 1920 into 1080. So usually I'll be opening the system monitor first, but in this case there is it doesn't automatically change in the VMware displays. So that's the reason I went to the display settings first instead of the system monitor. But you don't see that much of major difference just for the opening the settings. So here you can see its device name. So I kept like a Zorin, everything is default. I didn't change to my channel name, which is 95 Linux. And here are hardware model. I'm running it on the VMware, which I already mentioned in the beginning. Memory 8 GB, already mentioned. My CPU, and the OS name, it says like a Zorin OS 17.2 Education. I saw in the YouTube there was no video about the education, so I'm making a video right now. And also there was no videos on the light edition, also just one or two videos maybe, but so that's the reason I made all the editions. So here you should be seeing the disk capacity as the 64 GB. OS type, it's a 64-bit Windowing system, X11, virtualization. And if you want to upgrade to the Pro version, you can upgrade to the Pro version. So I already made a video of the 16 Pro, I think. So I made a video of the 16 Pro version, so if you want to check that out, you can check it out. So I didn't make any 17 Pro video. So here are the software updates. If you want, you can click it. So first let me go to the system monitor, system tools, and let's try to find the system monitor or the task manager, utilities, system monitor. So usually system monitor should be in the sometimes I'll see in the system tools, but sometimes you should be seeing in the utilities. But in the Zorin OS case, you should be seeing in the utilities. So these are all the process will run as soon as you boot up. And let's go to the resources. And it's consuming like a 2.3 GB of RAM of 8.3 GB. So if you want the lightweight light edition, it's better to go with the XFCE, because if you have like a low-end PC, the XFCE desktop environment will be consuming lesser in the bare metal as well as in the virtual machines. So if you have like a low-end PC, if you want to run the Zorin latest version 17.2, you can go with the light edition. So if you choose the GNOME version, it's going to be consuming like a 2 GB. So in this case, it's consuming like a 2.3 GB. In the bare metal, it's going to be consuming like maybe 1.9 GB or 1.8 GB. So you should be seeing just like a 400-500 MB of difference in the bare metal when compared to the virtual machines. And also the CPU will be a bit lesser also. The hardware specs or the hardware resource consuming will be less in the bare metal, you already know. And also the user experience will be also better in the bare metal. So Zorin OS is already a well-known distribution, so if you want to try it, you can try it, it's no problem. So you don't have any privacy issues or anything like that here. So if you want to get all the information, it's better to do your own research. Don't trust anyone on the internet or in the YouTube. So don't even trust even me. It's always better to do your own research. If you're satisfied, then go with the installations, or else just try it like a live boot and just remove the ISO files and get another distributions, because we already have a tons of distributions available. So you don't need to worry about anything here. So if it doesn't satisfy your needs, then go with another distributions. So if you have low-end PC, always go with this type of desktop environment, which is like a XFCE or the Cinnamon, Matte, or maybe the LXQT, like that, open box. So there are a lot of less consuming desktop environments. You can go with those type of desktop environments. Never go with the GNOME or KDE Plasma, because they're going to be consuming a lot of resources. If you have like a 2 GB of RAM, go with the LXQT or XFCE desktop, that type of desktop environments. So we ran almost like a 60 seconds or maybe minute. As you can see, there is no high graph or anything like that. So it's working pretty much stable. So the ISO file is also stable. So that's the reason we don't see any issues here. CPU is going properly. So there is no high graph here. And also the RAM thing is only a problem because it's a GNOME desktop environment. You should be seeing 2.3 GB. Cache is like a 2.1 GB. So let's check the version about the system monitor. You get the 42.0. And here is the file system. If you want any information, you can go with here. And let's keep the system monitor in the right side corner. Sorry, I'm a bit of stuttering because I'm making like a continuous videos. So I didn't properly slept. So that's the reason. Try to ignore those things and you should be getting all the information without any issues. So let's open the Firefox web browser. So right now the latest version or the stable version of the Firefox is 131, but you already have the beta version also 132. If you want to go and get information of the release notes of that specific versions, you just need to go to the official website of the Firefox and you should be getting all the information. So the latest version I already mentioned is a 131 stable version. Let's see what version we get in the education version or the education edition of Zorin 17.2. So here is the version which is 130.0.1. So this is a point update. So we need to get the latest update or the latest version. If you want it, you can just update it according to your wish, or else you can keep it like that. So let's type in like about support. So I'm going to open some important websites and I'm going to continue with it. So I opened every important websites here. So here is our first information. So the Firefox version already mentioned. Distribution ID is Zorin OS. So user agent, which is unnecessary. And the operating system or the kernel version you get is the 6.8.0. So here it says like a OS, but here you should be seeing the kernel information. And you get the 6.8.0 version, same like the Ubuntu 24.04.1 LTS version. And here is our Linux kernel website. In order to get the Linux kernel website, you can just type in like a Linux kernel has the search term, or else you can just type in like a www.kernel.org and it will take directly to the official website, which is this one. So what we have here, 6.8 version, and here you should be seeing all the information about the kernels. So right now mainline version is 6.12 RC1. RC means release candidate. Stable versions are 6.11.2 and also the 6.10.3, and the long-term versions are right here. So if you don't know what I'm talking like a mainline, stable and long-term, you just need to click on the releases, and here you should be getting all the description of whatever it is called. If it's called like a mainline, here you should be getting all the information as the mainline, like every 9 to 10 weeks. About the stable version, here is the all the information. About the long-term versions, here is the all the information. And about the RC or the release candidate, here is all the information. And about the long-term versions, here you should be seeing the LTS, which is 6.6, and the end of date will be December 26th 2026. Here is the end of life of that specific kernel version. And in order to get the kernel information, you can just type in like a uname-r to get the kernel information. You can use the uname-a or the INXI, NeoFetch, FastFetch, INXI-SV8. There are a lot of types, so you can get the Linux kernel like this also. Just type in like a about support and you should be getting all the information, semicolon support. And OS theme, it says like a Zorin blue, and you should be seeing the light versions on the both the side. And here is the RAM, 7.7 GB is the available RAM for us, 3.2 GB is the disk space available. And here is some browser information like a picture in picture and all those things, which I consider as unimportant, and it's not important for the video, so that's the reason we are going to skip that part. So if anything is important for you, you can just pause the video and read everything on your own, but I'm going to just show you the important information like a Mesa and LLVM pipe information. Here also you should be seeing the same thing. And the window protocol is X11. And if you want some information about the Linux kernel 6.12 or some Mesa information, I'm going to provide all the important information or the release news in the community page of my YouTube. So you should be getting additional information about the Linux distros in the community page. So if you want to get those things, you can check it out in my channel. And the desktop environment, it says like a Zorin GNOME. And here is the Mesa information, 23.2.1.0. Here is our monitor resolution, which I already showed you in the beginning. So these are some other important information. So just pause the video and read everything. So we already saw the Linux kernel information and also the about support information, some browser and distro information. So let's close everything. Now the about the system requirements of the Zorin OS, it will be different for like a light edition and also for the core edition. So you get all the information right here. So this is the URL, or you can just type in like a Zorin OS system requirements. Most of the time the website, official website, will be providing the requirements of that specific distro. But some cases there are like a lot of other websites will be providing all those information if you use the Google search engine. So the minimum hardware, here is the minimum hardware, 1 GHz dual core, 1.5 GB RAM, storage 15 GB, 32 GB for education, 40 GB for the Pro edition. So here is all the information. So we already have like all those things. And about the for the Mac, here is the complete information for silicon processors. For the Microsoft service devices, here is complete information. For framework laptops, ARM based, and Chromebooks for the Raspberry Pi. So you get all the information right here in the official website itself, or the docs, in the docs. So these are all the information. So let's go to the official website. So this is the zorinos.com is the official website, and here you already get the 17.2 information. So this is for the core edition, and also there are some changes in the light edition also. So here is some changes like a theme, and also the appearance like a windows. You should be also seeing the scroll bar like this one. So you have like a bulkier scroll bar of the applications, and also the latest library office already mentioned and already said everything in the core edition and also in the light edition. So we don't need to get all the information here. And also it's based on the LTS, same like the 24.04.1 LTS. So the latest version is 24.04.1. There is also video available in my channel itself, like Ubuntu and all the Ubuntu flavors. So because the same kernel is used in the Noble Numbet. And here are all the changes, and also you should be getting the support. The Zorin OS 17 version series will continue to get the support with the software updates and security patches until June 2027. So in order to upgrade, here are all the changes, and if you want to download the core edition, you can download. So these are all the changes of the 17.2. So in order to get other editions, so you just need to click on download. So basically you get the first option is the Pro edition. So here is the cost like $48, and for the core edition, which is free, and for the education edition, here is the edition. And if you want the light edition, here you just need to click on the looking for the Zorin OS Lite, which I already showed you in the light edition video. And here is complete information of the light edition. You can just click on download and it should be good. If you want to choose any servers, you can check the servers here. So that was some light edition information. Now we are going to download the education information, or the education ISO file. So already, if you don't know the changes, here is the comparison of the Pro, Core, and Education. You should be seeing in the Pro all those things, and in the Core you should be getting Office Suite, Zorin Connect, and the standard desktop layout. The layouts is like a Mac OS type appearance, or like a GNOME. So these are all the things you get in the appearance. And in the education you get the Office Suite and the educational apps and games, standard desktop layout. So it's like a customization. I'm going to show everything, so you don't need to worry about anything. So when you click on the education, just skip it. If you want to provide your email, you can provide it. If you want to choose some another servers, you can choose here. And here is the ISO file, which I already mentioned. It's a 7 GB of ISO file. Here is our education. While downloading, always check the ISO file, whatever you download here. So here is our ISO file. I'm using the VPN, and also I'm running it on the virtual machine, so it will be a bit slower. And if you want to install the Zorin OS, here is complete information. You don't need to watch any tutorials. You can just get all the information in the official website itself. Always follow the official websites. If they don't provide, you can get another videos. You can check it out videos in the YouTube. So these are all the changes. These are all the system requirements. This is how you download the Zorin OS. We got all the information from the official website and from the browser. So I closed those things. And the applications you get from the Zorin OS Education. So these are all the applications in the accessories. In the education, you should be getting all the education apps like a math, typing, step, open board. These are all the applications. So I'm going to open and show you all the applications. And in the games, you should be getting a bunch of games here. And about the graphics, you get the necessary or the content creating applications itself. And in the internet, you don't get any Thunderbird or anything like that. Under the Office Suite, you should be getting the library office, some applications like a journal, Minder, and all those things. And about the programming, these are all the programming. So it's filled with a lot of educational applications, which is already mentioned. In the science, you get most of these important things. And what else we have in the sound and video? You can use some media player. Here is the Audacity. I don't think there is like a VLC media player, but you get the normal video player here. It's okay, you can install it on your own. And about the system tools, you can install the Zorin OS installer will be here, and also on the desktop. And the startup applications, software settings, here is the appearance. Let me show you the appearance. So it's available in the core edition and also in the education edition. So basically it's going to change the appearance like this. That's it. So if you want some additional, you can go with the pro edition. If you want some basic things like this, you can choose the available things here. So I'm choosing like this one. This one looks quite good for me. And about the theme, you can change the themes, colors, and also there is like other options. Here are all those things like cursors, applications. If you want to change the icons, you can change it. Here is its shell. If you want to install the third-party themes, you can click on here. Under the effects, you can choose the jelly mode if you want to see the like this of a transition or the animation. And also desktop, here are the options. If you want to add, you can add it. Under the Windows, so this is the bulkier thing right now in the 17.2 edition. The previous, it was just like this without hovering. This was the previous thing, but right now it's kind of bulky. And these are all the options in the Windows. If you want to change anything, you can change it. If you want to go with the click to focus, you can customize. It's clearly customizable. And taskbar settings, you can change it if you want, or else keep it like that. And about the fonts, here are all the fonts. And most of things, I kept everything as default. I didn't install anything or anything like that. So these are all the information you get. So let me open the terminal. So these are all the applications. You get like 4 pages of applications. You get a bunch of applications. So I don't call it like a bloatware because these are all the essentials applications for the students or for the education people. So I think it's pretty okay. I don't call it like a bloatware. So everything is important, and also you get the LibreOffice and also GIMP and like a video player. So it's a bit of content creating things. You don't get a bunch of applications, but just 2 applications. It's okay. And these are all the applications or pre-installed applications you get from the Zorin OS Education. So here is our terminal. So let me type in some commands to get some distro information. So it's been like maybe 10-15 days, I think. So let's see whether we have any changes or any updates. So here is the terminal information. So if you want to change your preference or the color of the theme, you can change it, but I like the white one, so I'm going to keep it like that. So let's type in like a neofetch. Hit enter. So neofetch should be installed. So just copy it. So there is no live password or anything like that. You can just type in the command and click on the install. It's going to install. Just type in like a Y. It's going to take a few seconds and it should be good. And it's going to take a few more seconds. And about the desktop features, here is like language selections, internet connection, and also the volume, power options, date and calendar. So here are all the available options. So if you want to change to nightlight, you can change it. So you need to install it in order to see the change. If you want to see the dark mode, all the things will be changed to dark mode. So this is how it looks in the dark mode. Even the wallpaper will be changed. So I like the light edition, so I'm going to keep it like the light edition. So the neofetch is already installed. Let's type the neofetch. So it says like a Zorin OS 17.2, running it on the VMware, kernel version already mentioned, uptime 24 minutes, packages 2789 dpkg 40 flatpak, shell bash version is 5.1.6, resolution is 1920x1080, GNOME version you get the 43.9, so you don't get the latest GNOME version, but it's okay. Mutter, Zorin green light, here is the themes and icons, the terminal, my CPU which is i5 1240p, the RAM consumption 2318, here you can see. So let me install the INXI. So as you can see, INXI is not installed. So in order to see the graphics and all this information, so let's copy the command, let's paste it, let's hit enter. It's going to again take like a few seconds. Just type in like a Y. Keep an eye on the CPU and RAM throughout the video so you can judge on your own whether to use this specific edition or not. So INXI is installed. So one thing is from my channel is I never recommend any type of distributions. It's always a good option. I always say that it's always a good option to do your own research, and if you're satisfied, then go with the installation. So don't rely on someone's, don't trust anyone on the internet because they can get all the information if you don't know what you're doing. So that's the reason, always try to use do your own research. If you want any information, you can use like some AI tools to get some information about that specific version. Try to get some information from the forum, and if you have any people who is running Linux, try to ask them which is a good Linux distribution. And if you don't know that, you can just go with the well-known distributions, for example like Ubuntu, MX Linux, Debian. There are a lot of well-known distributions. Go with those type of distributions. So Zorin is also a well-known distributions. If it satisfied your needs, then go with the Zorin OS, or else you can choose any other Linux distros. So let's go one by one here. So first, the system host is a Zorin because we are running it on the live boot, and also the distro is Zorin. So the kernel version already mentioned like a 3 times, 64-bit. Compiler not available, and desktop already mentioned, which is a GNOME desktop environment 43.9, GTK version 3.24.33, GDM3 42.0, and the distro Zorin OS 17.2 based on Ubuntu 22.04 LTS Jammy Jellyfish. So it's based on Jammy Jellyfish Ubuntu 22.04 LTS, but the kernel you get is from the same as the 24.04.1 LTS, which is Noble Numbet. So you need to get all the information clearly. Don't assume that it's based on Ubuntu 24. It's just based on Jammy Jellyfish, but the kernel is same as the Ubuntu 24.04.1 LTS. So that's the difference. And this is like a VMware information, which I don't consider as important. RAM available is 7.7. Using is 2.52 GB, which is 2.6 GB here. CPU already mentioned like a 3-4 times. These are all unnecessary like a flag vulnerabilities. And let's continue with the graphics. VMWGFX version is 2.20, and here is the virtual things. And display is X11. Server Xorg version is 1.21.1.4. And what else we have here? The available resolutions. OpenGL version or LLVM version is 4.3. Mesa version is 23.2.1. And now let's go with the audio information. Here is the ELSA. Pulse audio version is 15.99.1. Pipewire version is 0.3.48. Here is like a network, Bluetooth, drives, partitions, repos, which is unnecessary for the video. Process 377, uptime is 25 minutes, wake-ups 185, init systemd version is 249, and compiler GCC version is 11.4.0, Clang version is 14.0, and shell bash version, which I already mentioned, INXI version is 3.3.13. So let me type in cat /etc issue. So it says Zorin OS 17.2. So if you want to check the desktop, you can install the desktop. So we got all the information about the installer. Just double click on the installer. So you shouldn't be seeing any changes in the installer, but I'm going to show you, and we're going to open the applications and do a stress test after this. So it's going to take a few seconds or maybe a minute sometimes, because it's a GNOME desktop environment, and also it's consuming. And again, the same notification sound you should be getting as soon as when we loaded the desktop layout, as soon as it booted up, it was the same sound. Also, when you open the installer, you should be seeing the same notification sound. So the same things in the installation. Choose the language, click on continue. So it's still the older installer, it's not a new installer. Keyboard layout, choose the language. If you want, you can detect your keyboard. If you want to test, you can test it here. And variant, I choose the English US and click on continue. Updates and other software. If you want to check it, you can check it, which is download updates while installing Zorin OS. It's a good option, so it's better to check it. Install third-party software for graphics and Wi-Fi hardware and additional media formats. It's also a good option, so check it. Or else it's clearly up to you. Do not participate in the census. I don't want to participate in it. And click on continue. It's going to say like a preparing Ubuntu drivers. It's going to take like a 30 or 40 seconds, and you should be getting the next options in the installation. Again, if you don't know how to install the Linux distributions or the specific Zorin OS, it's better to watch some tutorials in the YouTube. There are like a short videos, like a 2 or 3 minutes, just the installation videos. You can watch it. Because I make like a video with complete things. I don't want to recommend my videos, because just for the installation you don't need to watch complete videos. And also I make like a 3000 videos, and I don't remember in which video I installed it on the virtual disk or a main disk. So that's the reason I will not install in some videos. So that's the reason it's better to watch some short tutorials, just this part, because I'll be showing everything. You just need to watch this part, how to change and all those things. So this is the only important part in the installation. Other things is completely same like every Linux distribution. And my videos will be a bit lengthy, because I'll be covering everything like features, desktop, wallpapers, kernels, information and all those things, as you already watched this video. So that's the reason I'm never making just the installation tutorials videos. So that's the reason it's better to watch some tutorials of installation. So installation type, the option is like a erase disk and install Zorin OS. So basically this option is like it's going to delete your current operating system or whatever available in that specific installation destination or the drive. If you choose the SSD or hard disk, it's going to wipe everything like a media files, music, photos, videos and everything. So it's better to watch some tutorials here, and here are some options. And something else is like you need to create a partition before choosing this option. And if you created a partition, and you should be installed in that partition, and you should be getting two options or the dual boot options or two operating systems in the boot menu. One will be the Zorin OS and other will be the current operating system whatever you are running. And there is like some issues running right now about the dual boot options. So if you're trying to get dual boot options, or if you want to install as a dual boot, so try to do your research, because there is like some issues like you can't properly boot the current operating system or something like that. So it's better to do your research. And these are all the options. When you click on continue, it's going to give you like a user account creation, like a username, password and all those things, which is same in everything. And that's it. The installation will take like a 20 to 25 minutes, depends on your PC. If you have like a recommended requirements, it's going to be very quick. If you have like a low end PC, other than the recommended requirements, you should be taking a bit of time. The installation takes like a bit more time there. And also about the dual boot options, if you don't know how to install the dual boot or the dual operating systems, so always keep like a two drives when you're using the operating systems. Never install the two operating systems in the same drive or in the single drive, because if anything happens to the one operating system, it's going to ruin another thing also. So there is some issues right now, like updates or something ruined the other operating system. So it's better to keep two drives and keep that both the operating systems in the both different drives. So even if you have any issues, you can just install or you can just remove that drive and you can run the current operating systems. So it's better do like that instead of that thing. So other things, you can get all the information on the internet about that dual boot options. And we left with the only thing is to do a stress test. So let me first change the appearance, or else we can just open the applications right from here. So let me open a bunch of applications to do a stress test. For example, let me open like a GIMP and some applications to see how the distro will handle like a 4. If we see any like a sign or any crashes or anything, you can just ignore that specific edition. So till now I didn't face any of the issues, everything is running without flaw. So every application is also opening without any lag or anything. So I don't see any lag. So everything is opening instantly without any issues. Startup applications. And what else we have? So I open 4 or 5 applications. That's because a normal user will be opening like a 4 or 5 applications at once. He will be using YouTube and also sometimes the internet, like Thunderbird Mail, and also like a photo editing application, some media players. So we need to open like a 4 or 5 applications to see how much of resources it's going to consume, and also there will be some lag or any crashes, anything. So that's the main objective of this stress test, which I do in every video in my channel. So this will help us whether this distro will handle day-to-day task or not. So right now I opened like a few applications here, so I can switch the applications without any problem. And also remember that I have like a good hardware specs running this distribution, which is Zorin OS 17.2 Education. So if you have like a recommended requirements, it's going to consume a bit and also there will be a minor lag maybe sometimes, but if you have like a 2 GB of RAM, I don't know how it performs. Right now I have like a 8 GB of RAM, so its cache is like a 4.9 GB, and it's consuming like a 3.4 GB, and also this is like a GNOME desktop environment, so it will be consuming a bit more here. So if you choose the light edition, it will be consuming a bit lesser. So everything is working fine. I didn't see any lag or any crashes. So in my point of view, in my PC, everything is good. The CPU is running properly, the RAM is also running properly. It's a GNOME desktop environment. You should understand this will be consuming like a 3.4 GB, and also I'm running it on the virtual machines, so it will be a bit more. So in the bare metal, it's going to be performing way better without any issues. So this was my thoughts on the 17.2 Zorin OS Education, and I didn't face any issues, so everything is working fine in my point of view or in my PC. So this was the video of Zorin OS. About the applications, you can just click on the applications and you get all the information. GIMP version is 2.10, and here is the video player and LibreOffice version. So the main changes already mentioned in the official website itself, and also you should be getting the LibreOffice latest version, which is 24.8.1.2. So already showed you every main changes, and here is the mind test game. I'm not going to run anything here. I just showed you just the stress test. So that's the main objective of this stress test. I don't want to open any of the applications or anything like that. So Audacity, you get the 2.4.2. Here is the other application information. So it's completely educational distribution, and also you should be getting some photo editing applications. You don't get the Thunderbird or anything like that. You can install it on your own. Just open the software center or the app store, and you can go with these things. And about the file manager, let me show you the file manager information. About files, 42.6. So if you want to customize, you can customize according to your wish. You already use the GNOME desktop environment, so everything is according to your wish. You can customize. And about the updates, it's been like maybe 10 or 15 days, or maybe like a few days. It's been like a 1 or 2 weeks after the launch of Zorin OS, so you should be getting this many of updates, apps in the apps, and the installed application will be right here. And about the software, you get the 45.3. So you don't get a bunch of updates, but you still get some updates in the after like a few days of the release. Software repositories, so it went up to like a 2.9 GB right now. So after opening few applications, it went to 3.4 GB. Right now it's went to 2.93 GB. So these are all the default things. I didn't change anything here. So this was the video of Zorin OS 17.2. If you like the Zorin OS 17.2 Education, you can try it. And if you want to see more videos of Linux distros, you can subscribe to my channel, because I'll be posting 2 videos daily without missing. And there will be a gap between 2 videos because I don't post 2 videos at a time. There will be some gap because I need to edit and I need to upload another video. So there will be like a 2-3 hours of gap, maybe like a 4-5 hours of gap. So I can't exactly say the number of time here, so it may take like a bit more. So that's the reason it's better to subscribe and turn on the notification. As soon as the video is posted, you should be getting the notification. You don't need to check out my channel continuously. So it's better to subscribe and turn on notification to see another video. So this was the Zorin OS 17.2 education video, and there will be another video today after a few hours. So subscribe and turn on notifications. Thanks for watching. Peace out. Let me show you the logout screen and I'm going to end the video. And also there is no password or anything like that. Only if you create a user account or only if you install it on your hard drive or SSD, you should be seeing the password and username. And this is how accessibility looks and power options. So if you want to change the dark mode, you can change it. You can change to light mode. It's clearly up to you. So thanks for watching. Peace out.